Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Hope you're having a phenomenal Thursday wherever you are and whatever you're doing. With the news breaking earlier this afternoon that Aaron Rodgers is indeed signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he will face off against his former team, the Green Bay Packers, on October 26th, Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh. That is going to be a hell of a lot of fun and a pretty damn fun watch party here on Cheesehead TV. I hope you'll join us. If you're unable to make the trek to Pittsburgh to watch the game itself in person, and if you are interested in doing so, you know what you should do. You should check out Ticket King. That's right, Ticket King, based in Wisconsin since the early 90s. Ticket King is located across the street from Lambeau Field on Oneida. They're happy to help you find just the right tickets for Packers games, from larger groups to single tickets, both home and away. Away, like in Pittsburgh. There's a link in the description of this video. Do it, folks. Get your tickets for Steelers, Packers in late October. It's going to be a gorgeous night, no doubt about it. And I, for one, am damn excited about this matchup. You know, I understand people talking about Rodgers should just retire and the whole 1-year deal. Like, what's he going to do? Obviously, he's somewhat trying to rewrite the ending to his career. He doesn't want to be remembered coming out of the tunnel with the Jets and then missing that year because of the Achilles and then playing so poorly for, much of the last, 2024 with the Jets. He did start to turn it around, though. I know kind of the prevailing sentiment around last season with the Jets was that he was cooked, that he was playing terrible, etc. But if you go back and you watch, I would say the last 5 to 6 games, he was clearly starting to look like his old self. Certainly still has the zip on the ball, but most importantly, he could at least move a little bit. He could maneuver in the pocket in a way he certainly couldn't early in the season. Another year removed from that Achilles injury. I am very excited to see him in Pittsburgh in a Steelers uniform, working with Mike Tomlin, which I think is a major driving force here. I think Tomlin and Rodgers have a ton of respect for each other. And I got to admit, Rodgers tossing the ball to DK Metcalf with what you would suspect is a pretty efficient running game and a really good defense on the other side of the ball. I'm all for it, man. And I am incredibly excited for the Packers to go in there and beat the pants off the Steelers like they did in the Super Bowl and have Jordan Love lead his team to a victory over his former leader there in Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm very excited. That's just me. Your mileage may vary. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see everybody in the comment section. People mixing it up already. Lots of folks here, even before I began, which I always love to see. Autumn says, this is definitely not a shocker, and I'm ready for the QB battle. It will be fun. Obviously, quarterbacks don't play each other, but it is going to be a spectacle. That Sunday night will no doubt be pumped up. You already saw the NFL accounts circling that day on the calendar, even before Rodgers officially signed. But this afternoon, they started going ham. So, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers in the same game. It will be fun, and I am excited. No doubt about it. What else we got here, folks? This is Soder. This is so on brand for Soder. I don't care. Yeah, you say that now in June. You're going to care. You're going to care very much. I can't wait to, the next happy hour when we get to talk about it, or even the watch party. You're going to be on fire. I know it. Autumn, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. I cannot help but think positively about Rodgers for how glowingly and appreciatively Love talks about him. That says a lot to me. But that's the thing, right? Purely in football terms. I don't care what he does off the field, any of the personal stuff, all the political stuff. I don't care about any of that. That's his purview. That's his prerogative. But as a member of the Green Bay Packers, yes, he very purposefully wanted to make sure that Jordan Love's time as a backup, waiting his turn, so to speak, was a much better experience for Jordan than it was for Aaron behind Brett. And Aaron's talked about this pretty openly, right? I will always appreciate that, along with a lot of other shit that Rodgers did in a Packers uniform. But that in particular will always stand out to me. The fact that, he is one of the rare humans on this earth who even could relate to what Jordan Love was going through. And he made sure that Jordan felt included, made sure that Jordan was part of conversations every week in the quarterback room, the offensive meetings, etc. And, communicated with him at practice in ways that Brett never did with Aaron. And look, everybody's got their own approach. Everybody's got their own way of dealing with things. I totally understand that. But yes, as a Packers fan, I very much agree and very much appreciate Rodgers and the way he treated and handled Jordan Love during the entire transition. No doubt about it. Jim, that is a very good point. I just hope Golden and Kraft are healthy for that game. Yes, sir. It would be nice to have a complement of weapons, right? There's no doubt that it's so frustrating when you get hyped up for these games in the offseason and then, look no further than the 49ers game last year, right? 49ers were essentially a shell of themselves. It was hard to get too excited about that game and or even that victory when, they're playing backups to backups across both sides of the ball. Really hoping, yes, that both of these teams are at the height of their powers when they get to face off. Dennis is the nicest mad. He's a classic, no doubt. What else we got here, folks? Loverboy10, thanks for checking out the stream on X. Appreciate you, especially in the middle of everything else going on X this afternoon. Man, what a day. William, speaking of which, we live in such wild times. I'm just happy to have the Packers and Cheesehead TV to get me by. That's why we're here, man. This is the stuff that we try to do as far as, talking Packers 365. There's always something to talk about. Now, obviously some days more than others, but yeah, it's a wild world out there, man. And hopefully this is a oasis for you away from all of that. We're just focused on the Packers here at Cheesehead TV, and we always will be. No doubt about it. I think we've got a few more super chats here. We got Luke. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. I do like Rodgers with Tomlin. Going to be a fun game. Let's go, Jordan Love. Absolutely. And that is part of it. Like, I do think Rodgers will work with Tomlin a hell of a lot better than he worked with Saleh. Like, that to me is a really good pairing. And I am excited to see kind of how they're able to, get over the hump, so to speak, because the Steelers have been kind of banging their heads there, the early parts of the playoffs, so to speak. And I think clearly the issue has been on offense. They've had a very good defense for a number of years. I think Aaron will do a lot to help in that regard. Ryan says, Rodgers will be sidelined by week 8. He isn't that mobile anymore. Well, the last part is certainly true, but I don't think that necessarily means he's going to be sidelined. I mean, you can still operate from the pocket, which Aaron most certainly was towards the end of last season. He's kind of forced to, right? Because to your point, he's not as mobile. But a really good, effective running game, which they're going to have in Pittsburgh, along with a real bona fide number one weapon in DK Metcalf. I think Rodgers is going to surprise some folks this year, given, like I said, the narrative around how he played last year on balance. I think beginning of the season, no question about it, it was a stinker for Rodgers. But that last month or so, he seemed to be putting it together. So we shall see. Soder, what's up? Like anyone besides Harold is going to talk on the next happy hour. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, Rodgers and back in the mix and Packers facing off against Aaron will certainly be bringing out plenty of opinions, but yes, I'm sure Harold will be in full throat, so to speak. Joseph, you are correct. Thanks for checking out the stream on Twitter or X. I heard Rodgers gets to play in Soldier Field this year too. He most certainly does, and I'm almost, not quite, but almost looking forward to that game as much as I am looking forward to the Packers-Steelers game. Aaron Rodgers going into Soldier Field and beating the Bears with the Steelers would be absolutely breathtaking content. It would be so good. I will be one of the biggest Steelers fans in the world during that game because, God, I need that to happen. It would be amazing. Porkmaster, how are you, man? Thanks for the super chat. I'm also not as mobile as I once was. Like when we went against Minnesota Favre, I could get after it a little harder now. Well, that's the Minnesota Favre thing is an apt comparison because Brett, that first year in Minnesota, his wheels were pretty much maybe not falling off, but he was nowhere near the presence he had been in his ability to get outside the pocket and make things happen. But he just killed it from the pocket that first year. Now, the second year, it all fell apart. But you can, as a aged veteran, a quarterback who knows every coverage, every attempt to try and take things away. You're going to know, the game. You're going to have to operate from the pocket and know where your outlets are and how you can get the ball out of your hands quickly and things of that nature. Now, it's fun to watch because we all know Aaron's propensity to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, looking for that big play. So that's the chess match, and that's why he is. I mean, I'm sorry, he is such a huge draw because you don't really know what you're going to get, especially in this latter part of his career, right? And he's still, like I said, towards the end of last year, you could see still has a live arm. He can still put the ball pretty much anywhere he wants. Throw it with a lot of zip. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be fun to watch. Craig, I understand this statement. See, what bothers me is that a good QB should be able to work with any good coach. Can't tell me that Saleh wasn't a good coach. I can tell you Saleh wasn't a very good head coach. I think Saleh is a very good defensive mind and coordinator and defensive football coach. I am not sold on Saleh being a good head coach. And who knows? Maybe he'll get another chance. I know he had a couple of interviews this hiring cycle for the head gig at a couple different places. So maybe he eventually gets another chance at it and things go better. I mean, God knows, like you're set up to fail if you're the head coach of the Jets. But yeah, it's hard for me to sit here and say, oh yeah, Saleh covered himself in glory as a head guy. Rob, this is I don't know if you want to go down this road. The last time one, I think you mean the Packers won in Pittsburgh. I think it was like the 60s. It was a long ass time ago. I'll tell you that. It has been forever and a day since the Packers won in Pittsburgh. But to quote Marty McFly in Back to the Future, yeah, well, history is going to change. Can't wait for the Packers to get that W. Nick D, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. More interesting position battle to watch this training camp, wide receiver or O-line? Hoping Ryan can take that next step and Reed bounces back. Super Bowl or bust? I 100% expect Jaden Reed to bounce back, so to speak, which essentially really just means hold on to the ball on third down. But yes, I think he will be a lot more productive and a lot more consistently productive as opposed to the kind of the disappearing act he pulled, not completely his own fault, down the second half of last season. As far as between those two, wide receiver will be interesting. There's no doubt about it. But to me, it's offensive line. It's everything, especially when the pads come on and you're getting your first kind of live looks, seeing who's playing where and who gets to have a few more opportunities. The Jordan Morgan thing at left tackle, I'm fascinated to see how much of a real opportunity he gets there. And then you're talking about Sean Ryan. I mean, he'll probably be trying to win that battle with Jacob Monk and Jordan Morgan as well. So I'm a sucker for the trenches, so to speak. You guys, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know what I say all the time. That's where the game is won. And that is the most important aspect of your football team. Everything else is just window dressing unless you have that right. So I'm always going to kind of come down on the side of the offensive line in that regard. Jay's World, how are you, man? Unfortunately for Rodgers, I don't think he makes the Steelers contenders, which is unfortunate that he didn't get to go to a loaded teams like Peyton and Todd did, or even Stafford. Yes and no. I hear what you're saying. I don't think they are, favorites by any means, but I'm telling you, there's a formula there for them to be very successful. They're going to run the ball. They're going to do it well and efficiently, which is the key. They're going to get Rodgers into a bunch of third and manageables and third and shorts. And that's where you want to live with an aging quarterback. I don't think for a moment that this is a team that doesn't have a chance, right? Now, to your point, are they contenders? Are they going to be preseason favorites? Man, probably not. They're not going to be in that mix, not going to be in that conversation. But the NFL, as you know, that whole narrative changes throughout the course of a season. And teams do jump up and surprise you every single year. Why not the Steelers? They've been good. They've had talent. They've had issues on offense. Aaron changes a lot of that. Just like I said, and his ability on third and short, third and manageable, getting them in and out of things, stuff that, probably these previous guys, whether it's Russell Wilson, Fields, whoever, probably weren't doing as much there at the line of scrimmage, right? I think you're going to see a lot of that from Aaron. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying, though. Like, it's not like you add Aaron and you have a Super Bowl contender automatically. But I will also point out that's what the Jets thought they had. And that's what a lot of people on the outside looking in thought was going to happen with the Jets. Oh, they're just add Aaron and they're contenders. And that all fell apart real quick, right? So all that to say, man, just a lot of ball game left. I'm excited to see it play out. What else we got here, folks? Oh, hell yeah, Bo. Now you're talking. Aaron versus Lamar will be something to watch twice this season. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I saw the clip of them saying hello to each other after a preseason game a couple years ago when the Packers and Ravens played. And, man, that's two all-time greats right there. I mean, two MVP quarterbacks. That's going to be a lot of fun. No doubt about it. Borkmaster, thanks, man. I daydream of Jacobs toting the rock. It's fun. It's a beautiful thing. And, hey, to Jacob's point, I am very excited for the possibility of seeing a lot more kind of explosives out of the run game and Jacobs toting it, right? That was the thing last year. He really did not have a lot of daylight much of the time. And if you can get him to that second level, get him one-on-one with a backer or a safety, good night, baby. I love it. I'm all in on this. Brandy says, Ed Policy will induct Rodgers when he retires. Not a bad first retirement ceremony. That's not bad at all, right? I don't know if it'll be his first one, but we'll see. I mean, that will be one of the most important ones. No question about it. Dennis, that is an excellent question. Where can I find a Matthew Golden bobblehead? We need to start making these at Cheesehead TV. That's what we need to do. We need to have Cheesehead TV bobbleheads. But yeah, I don't know, man. Check the Pro Shop. I think it would be your best bet. Buddha, thanks for checking out the stream on Twitch. Early congrats to Alan Lazard for being signed to the Steelers. Alan Lazard probably going to get Jake Kumaro. See if Randall Cobb doesn't want to be doing that TV commentating anymore. Maybe he gets a gig. Jobs for everybody. Let's go. I'm all in. Isaiah, yeah, I saw this quote. Kenny Clark said he has weekend hangouts that should be helping the Packers D-line get better. What do you think? I love the idea. I love that they're getting together. I believe he said Fridays for, a weekly kind of film hangout, food, drink, watch some film. Man, every little bit helps, right? I just love that they're kind of such a cohesive unit. They're entering second year of the system, the scheme. They should know most of the intricacies now. Now it's about feel and getting to know each other really well and what to expect from, say, if you're a defensive tackle, how your fill is helping the linebacker behind you and vice versa. Those are all things that hopefully that's the kind of thing they're talking about and looking at, But, man, I love it, especially when you don't look much further than the Giants today, who literally had like a brawl at the end of their OTA practice. How are you going to get in a brawl at the end of an OTA practice? Like, you can't even hit. Man, someone threw a punch today at the Giants practice. And meanwhile, in Green Bay, they're getting together on Friday nights to watch film and, have food. I know which one I'd rather be associated with, no doubt. Craig, thank you, man. Like, sub, and share, folks. Yeah, do it. Absolutely do it. All right, buddy, I'm going to get going. Cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor and hit like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack, go.